Hello, my name is Chris Bandura. I'm the Director of Athlete and Community Relations for Dave & Adams. Our company began as a small card shop over 30 years ago in Western New York. During this time, we have proudly established ourselves as one of the largest card retailers in the world. We have also learned how tight the collecting community truly is and what a family it's become. The hobby has taken Dave & Adams to places within the industry we could have never dreamed of. With our hobby reaching such incredible heights, we wanted to find a way to give back to the community that has given us so much. That's why we created Cards Matter. Cards Matter is our initiative to help show support to those family members within the hobby at the times when they need it the most. In this series, you'll hear stories of individuals within our hobby that have struggled with adversity in some way. Cards Matter was created to bring positivity to those individuals struggling with this adversity and to show them the support that truly surrounds them. There's so many reasons of why we collect and why we got into the hobby. The one thing we can all agree on, cards matter.
Jimmy Freiberg and I have known each other for about 20 years. Jimmy was born just outside of Chicago, grew up there. Half of his family is Bears fans and half of his family are Packer fans. So he had family that lived in Wisconsin and they would spend summers up there. So even though his brother is a Bears fan, he's a diehard Packer fan.
He was little and he got his first little stack of cards, and him and his friend from Chicago, that was their thing to do as a kid, and he would do his research on players and then go back to try and collect the card. And for them at that point, it was just to have a portfolio of them essentially, and the cool, like, this is my player and that kind of regard. And then it just kind of took off from there, and you know, things in life happen and you get older, and it kind of took a little bit of a back burner, but it was always still embedded in him. It was always, oh look, I met this celebrity and here they signed this, and those are things that that was his thing. I didn't understand the satisfaction behind it at first until I saw the passion come alive in him with it. Like, it was something that truly gave him joy. And he loved what he did. He loved these wonderful pieces of cardboard and loved to play with them, and would be up all night till 3, 4 in the morning just going through them and organizing them, and it just became a part of who he was and us. This year would have been 12 years together and 8 years married. So we actually met during the Women's World Cup one year, but along that time, one of my friends was getting married, and I knew he ran one of the nightclubs, and I was like, oh cool, I can do your bachelorette party. Let me call up my friend real quick and see what, you know, he can offer us. And that's how he got my number, and from there it was just, it's the never-ending joke of he just never left. Everyone always said it was me who saved him, and I say it's him who saved me. But it was a bigger picture. It was finding something that gave him a different joy than the nightlife and the picking up an alcoholic beverage. Like that, this became what he channeled that energy into, and he took off with it. He overcame alcoholism. And so by doing that, it was through the cards and through the sports and the camaraderie he met with people. But it took him a while to adjust from the nightlife scene. He didn't know what to do with himself at night or on the weekends, because he never had weekends off, especially at night. And I think that's why, while my daughter and I are sleeping, he's in his office sorting cards, looking under the magnifying glass, the bright light, trying to figure out what's more important than the other, and organizing. That would be his alone time and his time to really just have for him. Once he knew what he overcame, his new mission was making me, my daughter, and his son happy, and building that relationship with him that he didn't always have.
You know, him and his son had done probably like 30 different major league and minor league ballparks. They had, flown to cities and then driven around and tried to do the, 4 or 5 things they could reach in that part of the country.
And so that's why sports became their communication together. And then as he got older, it became a better relationship, and he put his whole heart and soul into making sure his kids were number one. We both loved sports, and that was our thing together, and we always made that a mission. Now, it could be a signed helmet, it could just be a photo with a player, any little thing, and that just became who we were. And we brought our daughter along, and now she enjoys doing that. And it's not just a card. It's not what I thought it was. It's not just a piece of paper. It's not a piece of cardboard with somebody's picture on it. It's what goes behind it. It's the camaraderie, it's the enlightenment it gives you, it's the joy, it's that feeling like a little kid again inside. So it is more than just a card. It is what it brings you, what it gives you, the meaning behind it.
When I retired from hospitality, I called him up and said, hey, I think I'm gonna try to buy the baseball card store. And before the words were out of my mouth, he was like, I'm in. Jimmy's talent was that whether you were, a 5, 8-year-old kid, you were a mom trying to find a birthday present for your son, and you didn't know, I know he likes a football team and the uniforms are black and blue. And Jimmy would help take the mom through the process. Okay, that's probably the Panthers. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, does he like Cam Newton? Does he like DJ Moore? Does he like Christian McCaffrey? I don't know. Well, was a guy running? Was he catching? And Jimmy would just help the parent along. And with kids, the same kind of thing is they would come in with a Ziploc baggie with their cards in it, and Jimmy would say, okay, well, this is how you use a penny sleeve, and this is how you use a top loader. And we have extras that we kind of save for kids. And Jimmy would take the kid through the process of protecting their cards and helping to grow the hobby.
Working at the shop, it was teaching the little boys that would come in and really educating them, like, okay, so yes, you have X, Y, and Z player, but this is the card that you want to look for, or these are the better cards if you're going to collect.
There's a picture of Jimmy that I'll get you if you haven't seen his Facebook page of him DJing, and he's on stage and he's just smiling, and it's taken from the point where the crowd's in the background and there's like 1,000 people behind him, and Jimmy's making him do whatever he wants with the music and controlling the crowd, and that picture is Jimmy in a nutshell.
I mean, he was a man who did so much, starting with the military, followed by nightlife, entertainment, and putting on these big concerts, and now this. And I'm grateful that he got to, unfortunately, end life doing the one thing that gave him the most joy. We're attempting to go through all of these boxes that he had, and we sat down as a family to try and pick out some things that we wanted, and we actually had so much fun doing that. Like, granted, we messed up his old order and we just kept laughing because we were like, he's cursing us right now from up there. But it was a whole new enlightenment to the hobby itself. It unfortunately took that for me to really understood why he liked it so much, because it's an adrenaline rush. It's this like moment of joy, like, okay, cool, like, yeah, I got 5 Aaron Judges, but they're all 5 different ones.
So the day that Jimmy passed away was a Saturday. When he left here Friday, he's like, tomorrow's gonna be the greatest day ever. I'm like, what's tomorrow? He goes, well, we got Duke, North Carolina at 6. We got the first soccer match in Charlotte at 8, and then the UFC fights at 10. It's Masvidal and Covington. I'm like, well, that's a pretty good sports day. And Jimmy passed away that morning, and I found myself sitting in my chair at 6 o'clock watching Duke, Carolina, then on soccer match, and then I bought the UFC pay-per-view. And there was 10 different times during that 4-hour span that I wanted to just text him. Little things like that I'll probably miss the most.
His legacy to me is who he was as a person. It's the undeniable thoughtfulness for other people. It's the putting people ahead and just truly wanting to make other people happy and find joy. Because once he found his joy, it was his mission to give people joy. whether it be through something big, through something small. Hey, you're going through a hard time, call me. Before you pick up that next drink, call me. If you're stuck somewhere, call me, I will come get you. So it's always the selflessness. It's just who he was.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing and talking about Jimmy and his legacy. You know, on behalf of Cards Matter and David Adams, we'd love to present your family with $25,000 to kind of help you guys on your way and hopefully solidify the legacy.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
You guys
Thank
have no idea.
Thank you.
It means so much. Thank you.